So White Vision is ugly. Oh my god, he's ugly. Like, what were they thinking with that? Like, dude, that scarred the hell out of me watching it for the first time. It was weird. Okay, I'm not the only one. Okay, I'm going to think. I would like to think I'm not the only one who agrees with that. So, yeah. Okay. Let's start the video, apparently. Yep, that's happening. So, I am going to preface this video by addressing the obvious elephant in the room, which is my hair. I have hair. Yep. It's pretty. I know. Rare. Period. Okay, but no, seriously. I have been trying some new looks. I have been stuck in a rut with my appearance. I look in the mirror and I just hate it. So I have been trying to do something new because I've never had long hair, let alone colored hair. I've never had long hair, let alone colored hair. So, y'all are probably going to see a TikTok later because I got 5 wigs. Not 1, not 2, but 5. So, y'all are gonna probably see that and basically how I just style it, how I style all my wigs and all the colors I got. So that should be really, really fun. And, on a more serious note, getting into this video, I am going to issue a trigger warning for. So if you don't like to hear about those things, or if you like to stay away from those things, I am also going to do timestamps in the description that automatically separate the video into its parts on the progress bar, so you can easily skip over anything you don't want to hear, or you don't want to talk about, or anything that triggers you in any way, shape, or form. So, with that being said, I am going to get into the actual intro to this video. WandaVision! Yes, this is that video. This is every YouTuber ever at this point in time has made a video about this show. And, I love this show. So, I'm going to start with my opinion here is very biased. But I tried to do equal amount of negative, equal amount of positive, because even though I love this show, I'm going to call it on its shit. I'm going to call it on its bullshit. Yes, I am. So, it did a lot, actually. And, okay. I forgot what I was going to say. I can't talk today. It's fine. Let me get my thoughts together. Right, so, here are my notes. I have separated this video into 5 positives and 5 negatives, and since they are equal, I am going to go back and forth between negative and positive. So, yeah. Now let's get started with this video. So, my first positive, we're going to start this video out with a positive, is the fact that they mastered the relationship dynamics of each decade that they tackled perfectly. They did it really, really well. Like, the 50s episode. We started in the 50s. The first episode, that's the pilot. The woman was usually subservient to the man. They kept the house clean. They did all of this, and they gave nothing but their unconditional support and love to their partner and or the man, while the man went to work and did everything. He was the breadwinner, essentially. And as each decade went up, or as they went up in decades each episode, that perfect relationship, that perfect 50s relationship devolved into what it is now, what is shown on TV and in media now. So, I really love how they did that. That was amazing. That was very beautiful. So I'm going to move on to my first negative, which is Monica Rambeau as a character. I would have loved her. I would have loved her if Marvel didn't try to tackle the black best friend character or the quirky black best friend character and then subsequently turn her into it. Like, I loved how in the 70s episode they were like talking about it, and Geraldine was being loud and spunky and like bombastic to as a character foil to Wanda, who was like, so I'm about to give birth, I'm about to be in labor, and I don't want you to see, so get out. She didn't say it, but that's what she meant. Yeah, it was I loved that direction they were going in, and I loved that the commentary they were providing on the black best friend. And then as I kept watching, it was like she got her powers and she became Proton, and we didn't really see her for like a good 3 episodes. She only showed up at the mirror end to save Wanda's children. Wanda's fake children. Yeah. So, if you don't know, the black best friend, or the quirky best friend, because this can be any person of color, this can be any minority of color, can be assigned this trope. So I'm going to call it the quirky best friend, or the QBF for short. So this character is essentially the main character, the white characters holding crutch. They are usually very wise. They usually give advice to the main character, and they're usually not present until the main character needs them to be. So they're usually not present until the story needs them to be there. Like, when Wanda was giving birth, Geraldine wasn't really present for that entire episode until, like, she needed to be. Until she needed to be the distracting, the loud, quirky best friend that also happened to give birth to Wanda's twins. So I don't like what Marvel did there. I think they could have handled that better. But, that's just me. So I'm going to go into my second positive now. And, go into how they used the sitcom formula to add dynamic drama to the series. So, the best example of this has to be Wanda and Vision's fight in episode 4 or 5, I believe. Like, it's literally perfect. I'm just gonna play it because if I try to explain it, it's gonna dilute it. So, I'm just gonna play it here, now.
How are the boys?
Well, heartbroken, but they'll be all right.
Well, it's not often you get a dog and bury it in the same day.
Well, life moves pretty fast out in the suburbs.
I spoke with Norm.
Oh?
I unearthed the man's suppressed personality, and I spoke to him free of your oversight. He was in pain, Wanda.
Vision. Listen, can we
What?
just...
Watch TV. Turn in for the night so that you can change everything over again. No, Wanda. You can't control me the way you do them.
Can't I? I'm going to bed.
No, we're not done here. What is the Maximoff anomaly?
The what?
I have to believe that this, whatever this is, was subconscious at first, and that you only recently became aware of.
Aware of what?
Not as a family!
So basically, what you just saw was Vision getting fed up of Wanda's gaslighting and her just dismissal of his emotion altogether, of how he was feeling. So he decided to confront her about it. And what Wanda does when she's confronted with any of her trauma, anything that has to endure with her trauma and reality, she just runs away. But instead of just running away, like literally running away or changing the subject, Wanda rolled credits on Vision. It was perfect. And then Vision was like, oh no, honey, this is not how this is going to go down. Like, no, you're going to talk to me. Like, talk to me. And I loved that. It was very, very gripping. It sucked me as the watcher, as the audience, into, like, the fight. Like, it sucked us into the fight because we were like, oh, she really did that. Like, she really, really did that. Like, let man speak. So, another example of how they did this is in episode 3, when Wanda and Geraldine were talking, and they were like getting across the babies, and Wanda kicked her out, kicked Geraldine out of the Hex, the sitcom. It was perfect. Because in episode 2, it was like Wanda rewriting the scene. We didn't get to see Geraldine get kicked out formally until episode 3. And it was just everything. It was perfect. So, moving on to my second negative. There were many plot holes. Like, me, I am a fan of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, so I know they're going to fill those plot holes later. But I'm putting this on here for people who aren't really fans of the MCU as an entity. Like, they're going to want those questions answered. They're probably not going to stick around for what this show was setting up, which is Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. Like, this show set that whole arc up. So many of those plot holes might be filled. No. Knowing Marvel Studios, many of those plot holes are going to be filled later. Like, they're going to be filled later in Multiverse of Madness. But a regular viewer wouldn't know that. They wouldn't know that I need to watch this movie to get these answers. Which is why I included this here. I included this here for the regular watcher, for someone who isn't a Marvel fan person. Okay. Next positive. Darcy Lewis as a character. Oh my god! Comic relief. Comic relief. But it also goes back to the quirky best friend trope. Like, I love how they just flipped it on its head. Because in the reality segments, Monica was the main character. Wanda in Westview, her perfect world, she was the main character. She was controlling everything. But outside of that, Monica was the main character. So I like how they had Darcy to be the comedic relief, to be the white best friend. It was relieving to see. It was relieving to see a white character, a character of white origin, portray something that I have been watching black people go through for decades. Like, being reduced to the quirky best friend. She was perfect comic relief. It was perfect. Like her saying, "Have fun in prison," to Hayward at the end, like when she rams into Hayward. It was, oh my god. I laughed out loud. I replayed that scene so many times when I first watched it, because I watched this show 3 times, by the way. It's that good. Like, it's amazing. So, our third negative is Marvel Studios and them not being used to the episodic format, because they're used to making movies. WandaVision was their first series. They're not really used to making TV shows, which contributed to many of the plot holes. Like, you're getting it? So they really weren't able to adapt some things to that format. Oh yeah, and the credits were very long. Because of them not being used to the episodic format, the credits were very, very long. And Marvel likes to include scenes, mid and post-credit scenes. So when you have to watch an entire credit sequence, an entire, let's say, 2.5-minute credit sequence to get to those extra scenes that you have to watch because they set up vital, they give us vital information for like the next episode or the next few episodes. So you have to watch those scenes. Like, you can't get away from watching those scenes. But you have to wait for the 2.5-minute credits to get to those scenes that you need to watch. So, it was very tiring. But after, like, my first watch, I could just skip. Because I watched this with my father and my mother. So it was nice to be able to know what to look for after that first watch. But that first watch was unbearable because I literally missed 2 credit scenes because I was just like, I don't want to sit through this. Like, dude, you know? Okay. Going back up to positives, our 4th positive is Wanda. Wanda, as a character, is what I have been waiting for female grief. Because, you know, men for a long time have been writing women characters. Like, for a long time. That's nothing new. But the writer of WandaVision was a woman, Miss Jack. I love her so much! Oh my god, I'm going to be looking forward to anything she works on from now on. Like, she wrote the hell out of Wanda. Like, we finally got to see a female of power grieve. And what that led to. Like, it was really nice to see Wanda adequately grieving. Adequately going through the stages of grief. Like, it was everything. It was amazing. It was perfect. Like, mwah. Everything. So, going down to our 4th negative, the reality, the real world episodes where they went out of Westview. Yes, those episodes were informative and they were very much needed for the story to progress. They just fell short. Like, all of them fell short compared to the hijinks in Westview. Like, you know, it's like Monica finding out that Wanda was rewriting things. It was a cathartic moment for the first watch, but the second and third watch, I'm just like, okay, like, we get it. Go back to Westview. What is Vision doing? You know, like, it was perfect. Westview was perfect, and then they got out of it, and we got to the Marvel format, and that's where it kind of fell short. Like, you can't introduce us to the wackiness and the weirdness and the beautiful nothing that is Westview, and then bring us out of it. Like, that is inherently going to fall short. You know? So, our last positive is Agatha Harkness as a character. I just love her. Like, I love her. Like, she's everything. She's the villain we needed. She is the Marvel villain we needed. Like, she was snarky, she was sassy, but she wasn't, like, doing it for the destruction of the universe. She literally did everything. Oh, if you didn't know, it was Agatha. Sorry. Agatha, she did everything only because she wanted to know how it happened. She just found this great source of magic being placed over this town, and she just really wanted to know what the fuck was going on and how it happened. And that was her motivation. That's why she did everything. Like creating the fake Pietro. Like, that's literally why she did everything. But her other motivation was to suck the power out of Wanda, because Wanda apparently is undeserving of her power. She says it best here.
I take power from the undeserving. It's kind of my thing.
Yeah, she takes the power of the undeserving, and she deemed Wanda undeserving because of her moniker. Ooh, wow, I just said Monica. Sorry. She deemed Wanda undeserving because of her moniker, because of who she is. Okay, so our last negative happens to fall right in front of the fourth negative. So our fifth negative is basically the finale. It was very lackluster. Like, dude, it was just like Agatha and Wanda fighting in Westview, and then the two visions met and fought, and it was just like, and for Wanda, I would have expected a better fight from Marvel Studios, because Wanda is one of their... No. Hold on. Wanda is their most powerful character. Scarlet Witch is their most powerful character. And they gave her that lackluster fight. I can't. Like, I literally fucking can't. Like, I have a proposal. So, like, I know how to make this fight better. I would have loved to see Wanda, like, you know, coming to terms with her trauma and doing all of that. And all whilst also fighting Agatha through the decades. Like, fighting Agatha in the 50s with her practical effects and the string effects. Fighting Agatha in the modern... the Malcolm in the Middle era with, like, the camcorder, and one of the boys could have been recording it on the camcorder. Like, and then to end the fight in present day Westview, like The Office Westview, like present day Westview. Oh, let me see. Modern Family Westview. There we go. Like, they could have fought through the decades. Like, it literally was set up for them, and they just took the easy way out. And that's why the finale just kind of felt short for me. It really did fall short, like, for real. And that's the only thing that drags this show down, is the finale and the wasted potential that they could have had there. Oh, yes, and also the Visions have this very beautiful philosophical conversation about who the real Vision is. Like, it was very nice. I loved watching it. I loved, like, the interaction both Visions had with each other. Like, they were equally as confused. Like, they were so confused, and you could see the robotic confusion on their faces. It was literally perfect. So, I really loved that. Oh, and Monica coming in last minute to slow down the bullets that Hayward shot at Wanda's children was very, very nice. Oh, and also, yeah, Wanda got away. I don't really think she learned anything from the whole situation. I just think, I don't know. I don't really think, yeah. The ending just wasn't cathartic enough for what the series built up and set up. It just wasn't really there. My finale, I would have loved to see that. Like, they could have done that. Marvel, hire me, please. If you're watching, please hire me. But, yeah. That is my analysis of WandaVision. I hope y'all like this video. Yeah. I'm gonna do my outro now. Alright, so if you liked my person, if you like this video, if you like anything I said in this video, you can follow my Instagrams at January Katsugi, Glamour by January, and Be with No Juice. Love it. If you want to see more of me, if you want to see me loving myself, if you want to see me feeling myself, you can follow my TikTok at Katsugi Jan, where I'll probably be posting this on, so if you want to see that, follow my TikTok. And if you want to hear official announcements on videos, video ideas, if you want to comment on video ideas and hear my opinions on certain situations, you can follow my official Twitter at Jan's Newsletter. And with that being said, I am going to go take some pictures because I look stunning right now. And I'll see y'all in the next video.